Absolutely. Tim knows what that is. Hi, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Oh, my goodness. It's been quite the day. And I'm sure that our good friend Sarasota Tim is going to be happy that he is on vacation and having an opportunity to ignore the haters. And I'm so glad to see there's so many haters in the audience tonight. Make sure you give yourselves a thumbs up coming into the chat and giving yourself your own thumbs up for being part of the hater group. We got a lot to get through. We've got a lot, guys. Okay, this will be a quick one, but it's going to be a fun one, I promise you. I know there's been a lot that's been coming out today. Blind Views put out a video, Darling put out a video, both covering the topic. I'm obviously going to be covering it out tonight. But we do have some other stuff other than the obviously the culmination of Tim seemingly losing his friends and some of his most ardent supporters of him, his channel, people that had taken the time, it seems, to have known him personally. And so I think it's very telling. I think his narcissistic mask is starting to come off, is beginning to slip away, are revealing areas of his character and personality traits that we've all been talking about. And I think the reason why people such as myself and Darling and Blind Views and Miss Vicky and Carl and Dinga and New York Dan, kind of on the fence, but sort of kind of call out people like Tim, is because they really do use their platforms to try to lure vulnerable people to donate money to them. And we've just seen this with another creator, because people think I just cover Tim, and that's not true. I know you want to think I'm absolutely obsessed with one person, but I'm not. I look at creators who have substantially good sized platforms on YouTube, who are using, having that sort of vlog life and using obviously that opportunity to earn a very good income on YouTube and get a lot of fans and followers and people that are happy to donate and subscribe. I have my own, and I'm so appreciative. It does help, I promise you. And obviously it does help when people are liking, commenting, and subscribing, because YouTube then helps us get up our algorithm. More people find us, more people get warned about Tim and having caution about people in real life. And I think this is going to be very telling. So yeah, let me just make sure I say hey to everybody as you guys come on in. Make sure you also take a look at the poll. I did set up a poll because, as you know, Tim has been starting to lose, like I said, some of his most ardent followers. So far, we've got a couple of things that have come to light. And I don't feel as terrible. And I want to talk about some of the really important aspects about that. And then about something really positive that I'm hoping we as a community can do as a call out to Tim's friends that he's no longer friends with. And maybe we in the future, I'm planning to do something, but let me get through everything. Let me say hi to everybody. I'm jumping my gun. I got notes, believe it or not. But it's so much. I don't want to lose people before I get to everything, because there's some exciting stuff going on. Okay, so, and things I think we can do as a community, because we're so awesome, to show that we're better people than Sarasota Tim. And to use this platform for good, which has always been my whole purpose. Because remember, this is a guy. This is why this statement sitting here next to me. This is the language sent by my attorney to Sarasota Tim to stop him from copyright striking my channel. And it is interesting that some of the most videos that I had struck were with his friend JJ, which we all know, probably a lot of you, what's going on with that. And I think I've been mentioning in some of my recent live streams and videos, where is JJ? We knew that Bev wasn't doing good. And so we are going to do something good, but I'm going to wait and we're going to get into that when we get into that section. All right. So the poll says, who will be the next Tim subscriber to confess to the haters? Who will be the next Tim subscriber to confess? Will it be Bubba? Will it be Angel Mission? Or will it be Pity Power? Because Pity Power hasn't been kind of about in a bit. They popped in one day and then kind of disappeared. So they're not as, they don't seem to be posting as much as they had. So I don't know. But we've got Bubba. It's pretty neck and neck, actually, for all three. 40 votes. So I know we have way more than 40 people in the chat. So make sure that you take a moment to do an opportunity to vote for that, and we'll keep that running. I also do want to give heads up. We are going to be giving away halfway through the stream 5 Good Life memberships, and we are growing as a community, and we are doing good stuff because Tim is a narcissist, and he harms. He's not a good person, and I don't know. I just think that they shouldn't be rewarded so much with people's watch time and AdSense, and certainly not buying, the brand deals. It's all dishonest. And I think there's a lot of us who are creators on these platforms who don't particularly appreciate this type of influencer who vlogs nonsense and then kind of wants, ask for money like that at the same time. Not that I don't ask for money, but literally mine went to pay for an attorney. So that we small creators can keep creating and calling out these scam artists. Well, I've got some big news tonight. So anyway, the first thing coming up, we know that Tim has left. Let's just get Tim up here. Let's share the screen with all hero, all favorite person, the person that we are here for this evening, our great and the great Mr. Sarasota Tim. I am going to start a poll later on where we're going to ask if Tim's dyed his hair. Because Tim is saying that he does not dye his hair. Yeah. Can you believe that? And he said in the past he has, but now he got upset in his comment section that he is not dyeing his hair. Just his hair to the beard are 2 different colors and I know it can happen. Sammy's here as a moderator tonight. And we've got Carol here, Blue Skies. I see a lot of you guys. I'm just going to go quick in. Catherine's on. We've got Dr. Falcon, Matt, Cocktail Slippers in here. We've got David and Jack and Pool Pulse. I recognize if I haven't got you, I apologize. And Gail and Sharon. And if I've said you twice, then I have. And I know Cody here, and I know Jen X and Stacy's here. Bertie came on in. I see that. And Brianna's here. Hey, Brianna, crossing over from the Foodieverse. Foodie on the run. We've got, who else am I missing? Tar Heels Forever. And KG, we got liked it. If I missed you at the beginning, I'm so sorry. And then somebody else came on in, and all you guys, and Hazel's here. And and if I'm not keeping up with the chat, I am so sorry. But we've just got some fun out here tonight. And so, yeah, that we're going to have a blast. So like I said, just I didn't get a chance to post this one because I already posted one. Okay, so the reason why I'm bringing up Tim is this is, I think, a video that Tim recorded on his way to his vacation spot today. And if you've seen out this today, I did release a video where I just kind of clipped it and then sped him up. And people seem to like those. And so I can make those really easily while I'm at work. So, and if they're a good one that I think's a funny one, and Tim's still on the platform, because there's people that used to follow Tim or who are wishing his channel gone. I mean, if you probably saw my post earlier, it's been getting heated. So we'll ask in the audience what you guys think is, happening. I think we all know. So yeah, I've decided that we're going to take a look at this part of the video because Tammy was spotted. in Tim's sunglasses, of course, because if Tim has not learned anything, it's not to have anything mirrored around him, because we know, and I just happened to come across when I was doing something the other night, come across Tim and one of the videos when I first like decided to make content, because Chantel was just getting crazy with the food at the time, and I was so tired of telling how, because obviously I'm a registered nurse. Oh, I've got a whole story about grad school coming up, guys. But anyway, I'll get to that at the end. We're not here about me tonight. Anyway, I will be graduating just in a different way because I want to get out. And anyway, because I want to move. But so Tim, as we know, was headed out on holiday. And so I'm thinking this video at Scooters, because I want to say he said something about Fort Lauderdale. Like he said, I wonder if there's one of these in Fort Lauderdale. I don't know if where he ended up, because I haven't quite looked at that video, is in Fort Lauderdale, but he's at some type of resort location in Florida. I think the thing where it said hashtag carnival was that. And Miss Vicky said this in her video today, so I'm not trying to steal Miss Vicky's scoops, but Miss Vicky had said, I think he meant carnivore, not carnival. And with Tim's terrible eyesight, as she pointed out, I think that's probably pretty accurate. So all who thought Tim was off on a carnival cruise, I don't think that's the case. I think what actually is happening is that he toured the best balcony with no luggage. They just there for a dirty weekend? You used to think the ST was funny. Oh, when you read, Tommy, what is been revealed, if you're not catching up with all of it everywhere, you're going to find out he's really, those people who sent money, I'm sorry you can't get a refund. And I know that everyone came with good hearts and good intentions, because this is an awesome community. And I'll do a Chantel here. Love and appreciate everybody, because I know how much support I've been given when I needed to fight Tim and try to get an attorney. Not cheap. Okay. I don't even want to say how much it is. Because I sent two things, a counter notification and a cease and desist. And we're going to go over these, that I'm going to bring out the cease and desist. I keep saying it, I keep running out of time because stuff keeps happening. All right, let me keep going. So Tammy shows up in the sunglasses here, guys. That's what we're doing. It's a cruise ship. They didn't make a cruise ship. Not the heart hands. Yes, absolutely. Heart hands for the community, guys. Heart hands. Because it's girl world. I can't even do a good job. Well, hi, Ian. How are you? What type of luggage would we have? An old Walmart bag? I don't know. He probably had to drop his laundry off, and that's part of one of these things. It's so bad. Oh, many of his friends find it so easy about. Yeah, so make sure you guys hit the like, because that will be so irritating to Tim and his 3 supporters that decide to come into my comment section. That I usually just leave a question mark. There's like a couple of people, honestly. I used to have so many more like rabid Tim fans come to my comment section, especially because it was about a year ago that I started making content around Tim when he flashed himself naked in that refrigerator. And I was like, how did this guy post it? And that's when I started to think, wow, this guy just like, and I had seen him from the past, but I kind of stopped watching him because I had found his content was like irritating and was just constant. I was just shocked that he just had so much content out. It was insane. Anyway, so let's take a look at this video. And let's see, it's coming up at minute 5:10. And we're going to see that Tim turns his head, because look how happy he is with his donuts, his dollar donuts. Now, I don't know if he paid the dollar or they gave it to him as a free thing. It must not be far from his home, this place, because the guy remembered Tim. So this must have been right after he got up in the morning, I think. and drove over. I wondered at some point if he was like pre-recording and uploading content just because he was going to be out of town and he didn't want to do, didn't want to irritate Miss Tammy, because obviously Miss Tammy's around. Oh, we've got Tammy spottings in the wild tonight, guys. Okay. More people have spotted Tim and Tammy at Nathan Benderson Park. Just recent. I don't know if it was this morning or yesterday, but it was been like in the last day or so. Might have been even this morning. But Tim has a different shirt on. But we've got sightings in the wild at Nathan Benderson Park. So Tim gets more paparazzi TMZ style photos tonight, everyone. Woo-hoo! Way to go, Tim. He wants to be famous. He goes around telling everyone he's a famous YouTuber. Well, we've got more photos of Tim in the wild with Miss Tammy. So we know that they are in cahoots together on everything. So she's certainly not going to stop Tim from making this money, because he then is not reliant on Tammy for financial help. He actually can contribute for once in his life. I'm sure before she just kept him as like a little, she's younger than he, so he's not really her toy boy. But as the whatever, they are touring the timeshare condo. Are they trying to get a free stay at a hotel by listening to a 10-hour condo presentation? Is that what they're doing? I heard they were at some type of Hilton. And the name of Tammy is very common in the South. Oh yeah, Tammy. Well, yeah, blind views. These are carnivore donuts. Yeah, because Tim is so truthful about everything. He doesn't have to say he's not with Miss Tammy, but don't go #solo. Come on. You don't care what she does. She's going to be around. Timmy calling the fast food workers my friend. I think he's made their day. Yeah. All right, guys, let's play Tim. I'm going to slow him down so we can actually see Tammy. Oh, God. He talks slowly as it is. This will be painful, and I apologize.
Look at that, folks.
Oh, there we go.
Is this how you get it when you get... Yep. You get them in a cup like this many?
Just like that, yep, 3 of them.
Check that out, folks. $1. That's all you need. And this is looking good. Hey, thanks very much.
No problem.
What's your first name?
Chris.
Chris. Sarasota Tim.
That's right.
We'll see you again.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
All right. So, folks, this is bigger than the senior...
Oh, stop too soon.
Cup that you get at McDonald's.
Right there. There she is. There she is, guys. Woo! Tammy in the sunglasses. Tim, you got to get rid of those weird sunglasses, mate. And I think she might be wearing the pink outfit, which is the one. People wonder why I have so many folks in my audience, because we have fun like this. I know some of the other reaction channels give me a hard time. Like, I'm obsessed with Tim because this stuff is fun. This is what YouTube's about, especially when you start catching out like total grifting scammers like Sarasota Tim and Tammy, because Tammy has certainly enjoyed mooching around with Tim and all the freebies and coffees and coffee donations and hotel stays. And when they were returning back from Laughlin, and Hilton Tom was comping them the whole way down back to Florida and all those hotels, because Tammy wasn't going to be staying in the RV in a dang rest stop or a Walmart parking lot. That was never happening. So yes. So thank you to the person in my comment section who gave me the perfect timestamp on that one. Angel Mission commented about carnivore donuts. Yeah, they must be. Absolutely. They were sausage made with salt. There's $1 and they're good till it looked like June the 8th because it said 6/8. Tim's stoked. Tim, you know you probably could get a whole box of those donuts at the supermarket for $1. Anyway, I guess it's drive-through. Hater channels, you're more interested in the coffee review. Yeah, I know you would be. Well, you can watch my sped up version of the video. I'll link it in the comment section down below. Just for you, hater. Okay, so let's go back to normal speed. But yeah, there's Tammy. There's our girl. Let me get a screenshot. Hold on, guys. Just because I hadn't had a screenshot of this one yet. And I know Tammy loves me for this shit. I do that just to annoy Tim because he's such an a-hole. He really is. And he thinks his smarmy charm is just something that, all these folks at the, can't wait. They don't realize that they're, literally instructed as part of the employee manual to, I think Miss Vicky was pointing this out to me too. Somebody was, I don't know. I've been texting a lot of people today, has been saying, he doesn't seem to realize that they're paid to be nice to him. Like, it's baffling to him. Like, oh, it's because I'm special. I'm Sarasota. It's like, didn't he even say his name? Let's put it in normal speed and hear out the rest of this review. All right, Tim, you're going to be normal for once because I had you all sped up and 1.25 because you are a little slow. Because hater channels wants the end of the coffee review. Let's hear a little bit. But not too much. We got other stuff to get to. It's way more important. We want to take a look at that
warm
hotel review.
I did you heard me tell him, I want some cream in there, but it's heavy whipping cream. It's warm. Look, they give you this little thing here. You can pull out. Stop it so no spill. You get that little guy on there. It's a very nice cup. All right? So I like the cup. Let's give it a try. I'll give you my honest review real quick. Let's check the color. It's really a nice cup. We got good color. This is the regular. Remember, I got the premium one time. It was kind of stronger. I wasn't that fond of it.
I'm sure at a place like that, you could give the kid $1, Tim. Has he ever once tipped any of these folks? I tip the people all the time through my Panera app. All the time. Even when I was given that gift card, some of it went to tips. Because I know, and I've asked them, do you guys get the tips? They're like, yes, we do. I was like, okay, just as long. I'm not a big cash carrier. Oh, that's a great picture. Tim, you know why your eye is still bad? Because you did probably none of the instructions as required when they completed that surgery. You were not supposed to move around, and you could not sit still. If you'd really been smart, you could have pre-recorded some content with some interesting stuff. And then when you were recuperating for a little bit, you could have played that. But no, that wouldn't have given you an opportunity to be a grifting, sad con artist online, hoping to get some sad fish coin and donations sent your way. Pitiful.
Slurpable.
I'll get feisty tonight, guys. I got nothing for Tim. Terrible.
Oh, folks, it's plenty hot. And let me tell you right now, I'm just going to be honest with you. Completely honest. Because of the value, even cheaper than McDonald's all the time, and a little bit more coffee, and a very nice cup. Nothing against the paper cup at McDonald's, but the smile on Chris's face, the service, the deal on the donuts, everything's a deal there, but mainly the taste, right?
I understand that, it sounds like Tim's having a conversation, but when you start to listen to these people and you study anywhere near psychiatry and you hear like how Tim speaks and it's very focused to him, somewhat to himself, like he really seems oblivious almost to how others perceive him. Like his only perception is everybody must think he's wonderful. And then he's just, he lives in his just narcissistic self. It's fascinating to just, it's all about, but yeah, he still has room to complain, it's just, not that we don't always love a place with great service. But I don't know where he's just gotten obsessed with these coffee reviews with all this cream in it. It just, nobody thinks you're tasting coffee. Oh, it's become his obsession. I think it's because we just can't stand it. So I think he does it. And I think he does it because he wants that buy me a coffee money. That's it. It's the only reason he does this shit. Hold my fridge. I'm going to get demonetized, guys. Gotta hope somebody gets some memberships tonight. I might not stay monetized. I'm just warning you. All right. Take it away, Judge Mathis.
No. I simply asked. I said, I wish I could have this dry bacon. Well, I mean, you know what that is.
As a nurse who worked in oncology and specifically in radiation oncology, I do feel a little bit feisty about our friend Sarasota Tim tonight. I really do. And Darlene did a great piece, and I'd like to be almost able to. I don't want to take Darlene's views away because they just released it tonight, but they did a good piece about it, and it was well summarized. Okay, keep going, Tim. You're annoying.
I'm gonna have.
Tim, you went. You're gonna show my puppy shorts.
Tie goes to the runner. 100%. I mean, I'm enjoying this so much right now with that heavy whipping cream. I'm in such a good mood. I'd almost give it the edge out. And man, it is right there. It is right there. So if you have a scooters near you, scoot on around and get yourself a cup. Make sure you ask for the heavy whipping cream.
Okay.
And look, get your dollar donuts. Look at that. Another cool little cup. Scooters. Look at that, man. So folks.
Is that him just trying? I mean, somebody said that. I've heard that somebody. Okay, there's been a lot of stuff being talked about. I'm not going to give any names. That one of the comments in Tim's comment section basically said that the person was like stuck in the house because they were trying to prepare for surgery and they just waited and couldn't wait to watch Tim's video. Keep going, Tim.
I'm telling you. Because it's a tie. That's the best cup of coffee I've drank in my life. Crush it.
Oh, no.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Sarasota.
That was the coffee review, everybody. That was the coffee review. So we saw Tammy. Let me see if I can share Tammy up here bigger. So hold on, guys. Let me bring Tammy up. The magic of StreamYard. Okay, let me see. Let me see if it's the right portions. There we go. Make it bigger. Let me make it bigger and let's see Tammy and what outfit she has on because I'm trying to think because the person didn't say which. The person who sent me the photos sent them from today, and I'm wanting to think they were from potentially this morning because I don't think the coffee video went out. And this type of video, I promise you, on an iPhone doesn't take any time to upload. It doesn't take any time to put it into iMovie, do some stuff to it, and upload it. I mean, I can do it on my phone in next to no time. And I don't, think I have the world's best reception. Okay. Oh, yeah. She's there. Like, totally. She's like, does she have a pink top on? I can't tell what color top she has on. There's Tammy in the sunglasses, spotted. Okay, so Tammy, does Tim have a dye job, everybody? Or is that just somebody who's got pepper on the bottom and, or pepper on top and salt at the bottom? Does that happen? Can you get pepper tops and salt bottoms? Anyway, okay. So not only are we spotting Tammy in the wild, obviously, in Tim's sunglasses. So if he ever does a hashtag solo, she's in pastel. Oh, good, because that's what I think she's wearing in this. So I'm wanting to say that this is probably this morning. Okay, so Nathan Benderson Park. I don't know how far that is from the apartment, but there we go. There, but see, he's got the Sarasota Tim YouTube t-shirt on. And 75 likes. That's way too few. I've got 100,000 extra souls in that. Okay, I can't think it's going to be 100 Tim fans just hate watching me. Come on, guys, make sure you hit the likes. We got 185,000 million souls in here. Oh, is that the so? I don't know which part I was being. I'm in the. I've had a funny day, but a good day too. Okay, so here they are, Nathan Benderson Paul. This person took some great photos. This is like full TMZ paparazzi. What is the results of the poll? Well, it's still going. The poll so far, we've only got 99 votes in the poll, and we've got way more people watching. So it's pretty neck and neck. Bubba's a little bit in the lead. Bubba's going to be potentially next. We don't know. It could be Bubba. A hater channel likes to engage. Okay. All right. So they're coming out to exercise. I wonder, how long Tammy can last on the bike. Both of these folks trying to keep it trim and in shape. Maybe the talk about their, looking like Tim was having a little bit too much. Maybe that hit home and they're trying to get fit. All right, here we go. Next one. That was not a good shot from the car. Somebody pulled up. There I am. That wasn't me. I wasn't there. But obviously, I think they hallmarked it for me. So they could look. Tammy wearing sandals. The flip-flops are out, guys. I tried to figure out, did they take a little bike ride and then head off to the hotel? Potentially. This is Nathan Benderson Park. I know we're so invasive. Hey, Tim has said he always goes around telling everybody he's got a Sarasota Tim YouTube t-shirt on. He tells everybody around in public, films everywhere, doxes everybody's house, including JJ's, as we know, and Fred and Raphael, anywhere. So he can't expect to be respected in public spaces. He can't. I'm not going to say who sent me these photos, but they're a godsend because this is GC. So we get a chance to look at Miss Tammy in the shorts. Tammy put sneakers on. I don't think she does. Absolutely. Yeah, he does. He absolutely films people in public, doesn't ask for their permission, rolls around telling everybody he's Sarasota frickin' Tim, treats people horribly. Here we go. Nathan Benderson Park. Candid shots. Right there they are. Tim and Timmy. And Tim's got his Sarasota Tim t-shirt on so he can roll around. Make sure you hit the likes, guys, because this is Scoopsville over here. This is hot tea. This is potentially the same outfit that Tammy's wearing in the sunglasses, which I suspect that Tim, changed into a shirt or something going on. I know. Woohoo. Man's legs. Well, she films on the beach. Oh, he films everybody. This is great. Local. Oh, yeah. Somebody was there. Mark Thomas, I'm 68. She's way too old for you. Oh, Morg. There we go. Tim and Tammy up on the truck there at the bikes right off the bat, getting ready. Flip-flops of biking. Absolutely. I think she had the flip-flops on over here, whether she's over here. Oh, yeah, absolutely wearing flip-flops for biking. Totally like East Coast golf style. I know I've been on bikes and flip-flops too. I'll admit it. On my beach cruiser. Not these types of bikes, but on a beach cruiser here at the beach. Absolutely. People ride around here with no shoes on, barefoot, here, the surfer guys. Absolutely. All right. Let me take a little sip of my sparkling water. Sorry, guys. I've been live streaming a lot. It's been a lot going on in the creator reactorverse at the moment. I still have one more. Okay. Let me get down here. Why can't get down here? Hold on. Am I going to have to move? Oh, here we go. I have to go down here. Can I get over here? Why am I not getting down here? Oh, I got more pictures. Hold on. I might have to take this one down. What's that? Stop screen. Oh. I don't know why I can't get it down here. Maybe, hold on, let me stop this screen. Oh, there we go. Okay, sorry. Okay. Acting like a technophobe. Hit the likes, guys. Come on in. Let me know which one you think of Tim's friends is going to go next, because we're going to find out. Ah, there we go. Once again. Tim showing Tammy. Now, next to Tammy, okay, we've always had questions about Tim's height. Let's see Tim kind of next to Tammy, because I don't think Tammy is very tall, is she? Oh, look. Anybody who lives in the Nathan Benderson Park area, we need to get a measurement of this door. I'm just being... I'm obviously joking. But Tim to this door, how tall is he? Because he doesn't look like he's up like here to the door height. Oh, this would give us a better idea. How tall is Tim? Doors are usually 6'8". Okay, so does that put him at 5'8"? Because he looks like he's almost a foot down. I mean, I know he's bending his head, but I'm giving it for even the bend. Tammy has training wheels? She probably does. Well, she certainly has flip-flops. More pictures. Well, I think I've only got this last one. Here. Yeah, this is the last of the group of 5 that I was sent of Tim and Tammy in the wild. That was Tim and Tammy in the wild. Absolutely. All right, guys. So we kind of going 41 minutes in. My goodness. Okay. Why is he always hanging around bathrooms? Well, that's a really good question. Well, there could be several reasons for that. One, we know that Tim likes to carry a urinal while driving, because Tim, as you see, is a fan of coffee, which contains, he likes a full caffeinated, okay? And he's not scared of a couple of pots in the day. Being serious here, guys. So, either pit stop, got to be near a toilet, because I think his bladder. I actually think one thing he needs to let his doctor know, prostate check. If he's really having that sort of like bladder like urge and frequency, could be a prostate issue, Tim. Just saying that from somebody who's been a while in the medical profession and, is rounding out her master's program. So, yeah, there we go. Chris says, I live in Sarasota. Oh, well, that sounds beautiful. It sounds prettier than Tammy. So, yeah, make sure you guys hit the likes for the pictures and for the wonderful person who sent those. Thank you so much. You know who you are in the community. Keep the sightings of Tim in the wild coming, guys. Well, maybe you know what? I need to get to my designer, a graphic designer, or somebody, because I'm not great at this stuff. I need to get these photos together, because I still have them. And I need to do like a little video with music montage with Tim in the wild. And we can have it as like a whole Sarasota spotting. Just to make him feel like special and loved, because he loves it. Loves being seen in the wild. I know he does. He loves being famous. He loves being Sarasota Tim. All right, guys. I think what we'll do, because I did want to save the, I think a lot of people see this. So we'll get to those. We'll get to those last. Let's get to this poll. Let's see. No, we'll keep the poll going for a minute. But I am going to give away, I think, 5 Life in 5 memberships, just because I think we should. Because Tim doesn't like to give anything to anybody, not even best wishes. And so I think that I would like to give away some memberships. I'm gonna gift away some memberships now. So make sure before I do, okay, because this is important. There is a feature on this live stream, like where the chat is. So take a look, and it allows you to accept gifts. So that could be a gift from me gifting the memberships. There's really generous people like Just Cody And there's been some other folks who are very generous at gifting memberships. And so if you want to receive and get to try, there's emojis. Yeah, thank you for all the emojis. Absolutely. Emojis. I do members only videos where you get to have a behind the scenes look at my life. I'm still supposed to be editing that one video Friday, guys. Oh, it's been a whirlwind. I got much busier this weekend than I thought I would. Anyway, all right, let's give those members. So just make sure he is an absolute narcissist. Oh, it's going to show in a moment. We're going to look at the hotel video and hear how many times he says the word I, and then we're going to get into him losing people, his friends, and then we're going to round it up, guys. Okay, so make sure you have that little feature turned on where you can get the free gifted memberships. So I want to make sure that people get them. Okay, all right. Just started June. So, yay, who do we give? Scrollbait Parodies got a gifted membership. Mary Carl, my good friend Cheekbones, Anthony B, and Fifth Dimension. That's awesome. Because Cheekbones, if you are not familiar, is, and I need to not talk over him, is, I'm terrible. I need to learn to be a better host. I'm getting better. Cheekbones is a registered dietitian, and she's fantastic. And so I am going to have her come on as registered dietitian for Tim's diet. Just in respect to his heart health, since he's so good with that. All right, guys, let's get over to Tim's latest video. And we were going to take a look at this. Oh, so Tim's been losing subscribers, I've noticed. Just wanted to share that news. And so he's going to panic on that one. So make sure you're, well, I know anybody in the chat is subscribed. Anyone in the chat is subscribed to my channel. I appreciate that. But Tim was at 67.7 thousand subs the other day. And so he is starting to have his numbers affected by something. Either YouTube has been doing a cleanup. Like, I lost some subs, but then I went back up again. It was the wildest thing. So I don't know what happened. I can't believe, like, I would like to gain subscribers like that all the time, because my channel would actually maybe hit at some point 5,000 subscribers. Which is why I find it so funny that people even make commentary around me, because I'm so small and insignificant. But I'm big enough to irritate Sarasota Tim. Because I've been calling him out for the last year, because I can tell that he's a grifter. I can tell he's absolutely one of these.
I simply asked. I said, I wish I could have that dry begging. Well, I mean, you know what that is.
At least he's gotten better about admitting to just being a dry beggar. At least my dry begs are just fairly honest, you know? If you want to help support me through the burden of grad school, there's a buy me a coffee link down below. Or if you just dislike Tim and you want to, well, we're actually going to do something really good in the future. So hold on to your money. Okay. So let's take a look at Tim's video where he shows up. So I'm assuming, I don't know if he went to the doctor's appointment in the morning. I'm guessing he did. So it seems that this potentially, at some point, he and Tammy were riding bikes, obviously. And then he goes over to the eye doctor. Somehow he got 4.2 thousand views. Now that because he put hashtag carnival. Maybe people thought he was going on a carnival cruise, and it just happened that triggered 4.2 thousand views, because he doesn't usually get views like that. But he got here like 3.8. He actually tried to do a thumbnail, and that didn't get him very many views. So we know that Tim will never try a thumbnail again. His logic will be, thumbnails don't work. Okay. Here we go. This is only 11 minutes long, guys. This isn't long. He's at the Diplomat Beach Resort. Great, Tim. Why are you doxing yourself so hard, mate? You're not very popular. I mean, the thing for Tim is here. Here's the shirt. It's most likely that Scooter's video was from today. Why does he dox his own self in a hotel live? It's just, is he hoping that, oh, just Cody. Thank you. And Bertie, let me get these guys. Oh, thank you, Just Cody. Just Cody just also gifted 5 memberships. That's awesome. We are growing to be such an awesome, large, let me get this, community. I've got some plans to get in touch with my awesome little graphic designer out in West Virginia, and he's a local lady. Somebody's asking if I'm from West Virginia. I don't know what people say. Mr. M got a membership. PB2 got a membership. Jacqueline XO received a membership. Some of these might be crossing from my foodieverse, but that's okay. Shireen Knight got a membership, and Tanya Kristen Berry got a membership. And Bertie, thank you so much for that $5 with that little super here. We really appreciate all of that generosity. It really does go a long way. And keeping this channel going, guys. It does. It really does. Everybody knows that America is the land of the free and the bills. So we appreciate it. Yes, absolutely. Thank you. And Junebug treats too. And she got some good treats the other day. If you have a members only, now you can actually see my Trader Joe's haul, of which Junebug always gets like 2 or 3 bags of treats from there. They have some pretty good ones there, so I'm usually pretty happy. That's awesome. Thank you guys for that generosity. That's awesome. We really appreciate it. All right, so Tim, we're going to put you at 1.25. Oh, we are. Oh, okay. So people have been saying Tim looks slimmer of the face. Maybe he does. I don't think he's like, I'm glad maybe because he and Tammy are getting out and biking. Maybe they're taking their health seriously now. But when you see him with the donuts, which I'm not going to lie, I am also a fan of a sweet treat, but I do try to stick to fruit as much as I can. Like I will cycle in my decision and then I will stop. The one thing that my mom always said that helped her the most was not to have a sweet treat. You know, it's hard, especially as we get older. It seems like we're drawn to sugar for the flavor. All right, Tim, take it away.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Sarasota,
I've never seen
Tim.
this video.
Welcome to my cabin here
that.
on Carnival Cruise Line. Wait till you see it. It's big, it's spacious, it's even got a view. I'm on the top floor almost the top floor. No, I'm just kidding.
It is a goal because we've got like an awesome live stream tonight. This has been one of the best, awesome sized live streams I've had on a Sarasota Tim. So I can't believe it. We got to at one point to over 200 people watching this tonight. So that's pretty awesome. And I know it's late for a lot of people. So I am just so grateful. So make sure you hit that likes and send us up the algorithm because more people are starting to find Sarasota Tim on YouTube. And so the more we start to like, comment, and subscribe, the more we start to warn people about characters like this fake person here, okay? Because we're going, and I think some of you have potentially already seen it, but some of you may not. We're going to look at 2 recent messages, very recent, like in the last day, from 2 very close friends through having met this person potentially through his channel and how he's treated these people. And so you're going to start to see a pattern of how really badly this person is as a narcissist and how he's just really uses people. He doesn't care about his community. He doesn't care. You know, I can't believe that I have so many awesome people like that 200 people would come in and watch me live stream and talk about Sarasota Tim. And I know I get a lot of flack from like other creators, like how can people hang out and talk 3 hours about Sarasota Tim? It's because we have to teach people about human nature. We're people who have age and wisdom, and we can spot this stuff. And at first we get drawn in. It's easy. Many people that are in this community now had watched Sarasota Tim. I had watched Sarasota Tim when he was doing initially his Social Security videos. I remember I would look at his videos and I would sit on the rowing machine at my cardiac rehab during lunch because he would just blab on. wasn't really paying attention. I was just like, what is this guy up to? And he kind of fascinated me because I was like, he would get so many views on these videos. And you could just kind of see that obviously as he started to make his money on the channel and his, popularity grew and he was getting all these tricks. Remember, this is a man who really didn't provide for his kids, who took all those loans from the government. And, so Tim was just he could not believe how much his fortune had changed. It was wild. It's wild. All right, back to Tim.
I heard from one of my subscribers that one of my hashtags I've been putting on my videos says carnival, and it's supposed to say carnivore. I haven't had a chance to edit it yet. I just got here and checked in.
Oh, he just confirmed what Miss Vicky had thought about the carnivore and carnival. Sorry, carnival. Like I'm like some hot Brazilian girl. Flat Pat says, working a couple hours a day while having children show me all I need to know about Tim. Yeah. Exactly. I think it showed us all any of us needed to know. I absolutely. I think I take better care of my pets than Tim takes care of his children and grandkids. Lori gifted a membership. That is so awesome. Thank you, Lori. Thank you. I want to see who is the lucky recipient. It was Farco Hollis. Thank you, Lori. It's so good to see you back. We're back in the foodieverse too. So don't worry. I know she's still on the lam. If you're not following the other channel, content creator that I've talked about some of her horrific medical advice, just like Tim, she is potentially on the lam in Kuwait. Oh my God. These people are wild. These folks are wild. Thank you so much for that generous gifting of a membership. I know that they will enjoy that. And I'm just so excited to see everybody here tonight. All right, Tim, keep going because we've got to get into we're going to listen to Seriously Sweet Tim, and then we're going to actually read what people say. Like people who've...
And let me just give you a tour around. And this is just the beginning.
Oh, coming out the woodwork,
wait till you see the lobby, the surroundings, and everything else. The weather is inclement. It's cloudy. There's no sunshine. But hey, I'm happy. Take a look. All right, we're going to start with the restroom now. As soon as I got here, I had to, relieve myself, and I got in here. I'm like, oh, nice tub. Yeah, okay, cool. I saw it online and everything, and then I said, well, all right, let me go in here. Oh, wait a minute, that's a shower. That's not. Where's the? Oh, that's a nice shower head too. Where is the water closet? There it is, separately by itself. Nice big water closet. Now I know you love this view. Got a big closet, whatever that's for up here. But anyway, that is the private water closet, a private.
Tim does seem to have some type of urine fetish. Do you think he saves the urine to do some freaky stuff with Tammy? I mean, I'm just asking an adult question here. This is late night. I'm not saying it in a rude way. I'm just curious. I mean, why are you carrying a urinal around and talking about relieving and so close to a toilet at Nathan Benderson Park? The water closet. Yeah. Well, that's a polite way to put it, William. A 1958 hotel, not new? Come on. That would be absolutely brand spanking new in Britain. What do you mean? I remember my parents, this was I want to say in the 80s, said that they were buying a new home and it was built in the 1930s. But that was new in my town, okay? Old was like 1885, and I lived in properties of that age too.
Shower with, of course, all the lotions and shampoos and everything included. A beautiful shower head and a creaky door, privacy window, nice big deep tub with these handles here to grab and thing to rest your arm on. If you just want to take it easy, put all your different things to your candles if you want, do it all. Look at this, got a little mirror here for the ladies. You can plug it in, it's all sitting there ready for you. And
I mean, is he there for the buffet? I mean, for Tim, we know this probably does feel good. Okay, guys? Because remember, if he's not in the doghouse or at the studio, he's over at Miss Tammy's apartment. But we know he doesn't stay in that tin can. We know he doesn't. He talked about leaving home and all sorts of stuff, and Miss Tammy's sitting right next to him in the car. So where was Tim coming from this morning? Going to Scooters? Certainly wasn't going through from his tin foil whatever on the slab, his trailer. He hates me calling it that. I'm not trying to be a snob. I just do it to irritate Tim. If I say it, it's to irritate him because I know when he thinks it. So, I mean, it's not like, you know, unless Tammy's out of town, okay, and when he's popping out 40 videos a day, he's over at the apartment with Tammy. If Tammy's out of town, I think she doesn't trust him not to be filming and doxing everything. Because he did that to his friend JJ and anybody else. And it's come, you know, that person woke up within about a year of knowing this person, probably less. Because remember, well, we'll get to it. Let's Tim carry on with his tour of the, you know, because what would be a Sarasota Tim video or day of Sarasota Tim filming without this type of quality content of a hotel tour? He's never even tell us how much he's paying for the room. Somebody thinks he might have cashed in something from cruises or something. Who knows? Him and Tammy making whoopee somewhere is not my interest.
And I don't know where the light switch is. Let me find it. Well, anyway, we'll find out later. So as you come into the room, it's I walked out and the thing came on. That's weird.
So
Got a big mirror right here. How you doing again?
What's the
Here's a
view?
little fridge they give you.
I don't know. I was trying to check out that. What's that on the side of the fridge? What was the view? I was trying to figure out what the view was. I kind of like that sort of nostalgic style refrigerator. Is that carpet? I don't like a hotel with carpet. I like flooring. I don't want carpet. I want floors that I know can be mopped. I'm just going to be honest.
Get me some ice for sure. And a king bed. Wait for it. Some coffee. And
I'll make Tim happy.
do not touch is what that says. Do
I
not.
wonder if Tim's going to have the best cup of coffee in your life. You know, Tim never touching that water. How much is that water? How much is that water? Oh, those things are usually like, yeah, don't touch unless you're prepared to pay, you know, $10 for a bottle of Evian. Look at this. Tim, you tie one on to Miss Tammy, that thing's getting popped open.
Not touch or you will pay dearly. The incidental deposit, I won't even tell you what it is. I can just tell you, you would never, ever in your life guess high enough. You really won't. It's absurd. So.
I think it would be perfect if the folks for the EIDL or whatever needed to ask him questions showed up right there while he's showing off that he's at this Diplomat Beach resort. They show up, start asking him about his loans.
There's the Sarasota hat I'll be wearing proudly around here, making some videos.
Oh, great. Doesn't he have like 1 billion baseball hats with Sarasota Tim on it and crushing it and goodness knows what else? Why does he need to buy more hats? And does anyone care about this content? No, because you're a terrible human being.
For you guys, I've got
in my opinion,
full-length panoramic view of the city, the intercoastal, the ocean, everything. You don't get just the ocean view, you get both. And Hard Rock Cafe and everything you can imagine, cruise ships, whatever's going out, you can see from here. There's also a shaded thing here that you can use. I haven't figured out, there's a little cable right there to lift it up and down. Nice big love seat right here. And then, of course, you've got your privacy.
No, Tammy's downstairs in the shops looking how to spend Dwayne's inheritance that he left behind from his untimely and very suspicious death, in our opinion.
The curtains here. But take a look.
He's investigated.
Let me go up all the way for you before we go outside. Raise it on up. Let's really see that view.
That's lovely.
And what it's all about. I don't know where the cable is for this one. Let me see. Oh, there it is. I went up. All right, now let's take a look. Back up for you. Hey, let's open these curtains. As wide as it gets. Don't get cheap on me. I think that's as far back as it goes.
Don't get cheap on me. Tim, you were just saying that they were never even going to touch that bottle of water. It's that type of phrasing and language that just gives so much of Tim's sort of narcissism away in a lot of ways. Because Tim wouldn't want anybody to get cheap on him. I know he says it in this sort of funny, but he is serious. He would be very upset if it wasn't to his standards, but he wants to get everything at a discount. I wouldn't be surprised if he told anybody, coming into here, he was ex-military, ex-fire, ex-police, whatever could get him a discount. He has no shame. And he has found a wonderful way to get very good and, good-hearted people with good intentions because they relate or they, like this positive, all BS. This is all an effing act. Sarasota Tim is a character. The man we saw in the call with Tammy talking about shoving drinks into faces and him saying that joke afterwards while he was obviously trying to defend Tammy because he doesn't care what she says because they're peas in the pod together. They're both the same. You're going to see.
All right. So,
well, you probably know.
Time. Got a nice, looks like 55, 65, whatever it is, a TV there, desk. And then you have this is a corner of the building where it has the largest patio of like any of the rooms. It goes over here and here. What do you see outside? It's amazing. This is where it comes in right here. Let's get on out there. Look at this. I've got one.
And I don't think he even bothered to put a microphone on, of course, because why would he try to, I promise you, this type of content is nothing to make. And he's probably upset that he doesn't get anywhere near the views that he got this time last year. Well, maybe not this time last year, but at the beginning of last year in 2024, when he was putting out just any video, he would get 25, 35, 75,000 views just on something like this. I mean, and he would put out 3 or 4 a day. So you can imagine what his view counts were like and how much money he was making from YouTube. He never does a community post. He set up no community memberships. He did nothing through YouTube. He does never live streams. He never has gone live with his audience and had a time with just, hanging out with Tim at the fire, doing an evening chat, because Tim couldn't do it live because his mask, that narcissistic mask, could potentially just slip away. And the narcissist would never like that to happen because he could get one nasty comment in his chat and it could throw him for a loop. Me, I just don't care. That's why you have moderators too. He would have to have a lot of moderators in his chat. I don't think now, but when he was popular, he could have had stuff like that. But no, he and Tammy went on the great mooching tour of America and went to stay at people's houses. Now, legitimately, were these people's businesses being advertised? Yes. But then you're supposed to disclose stuff in YouTube if there's some sort of, quid pro quo. Like, you get to stay here free at this place, but in return, you're going to be literally, obviously, showing my location, my hotel, whatever, to your thousands and thousands of viewers and subscribers at the time. I mean, his channel was popping. And then I think once he went naked in front of that refrigerator and then just stuff has started to slowly leak out, his, audience has started to disintegrate. I think this is going to start to be like the real fall, all this other stuff that's coming out.
2, 3. It's 10 feet out.
That's my opinion.
From the room. Close the door. Hold on, I'll lock myself out. There's the Atlantic Ocean. I'll zoom in for you in just a minute, show you what's going on. Here's some lower buildings that were built many years ago. There's a nice one right there.
So is he on the Atlantic coast? It said that he and Tammy cross over to the Atlantic side. I thought Sarasota was more on the Gulf side. My Florida geography is terrible, so don't shoot me. Because, I mean, it looks like an Atlantic Coast beach and all the fog because I live on the Atlantic. And obviously, I live in a resort city. So, Virginia Beach. It has been hot. It's going to get hot. It was 86 today.
There's another one right over here. And take a look at the people living on the intercoastal waterway. This is what you call the intercoastal. There's a little cove right there that starts snaking around. It gets very interesting down here in Hollywood, Miami, Dania Beach. That's US 1 down there. And then look, the patio goes forever, all the way down here alongside.
The stories of Sarasota Tim's audacity is probably just outstanding. Look, here we go. Somebody needs to let me know where he is. Yeah, this doesn't look like a specifically brand new hotel. Ocean and city views. Diplomat Beach. No idea. I know somebody sent me some information about it. Maybe I should learn more. I just know that Tammy there for sure. He's not alone. He's not alone on holiday.
CC Riders parked in there. The intercoastal that's flat as a pancake. Of course, that goes all the way up. You can see the water. It just keeps on going. That's Fort Lauderdale downtown. You're looking at right there. We would be able to see a lot better, folks, but we have.
Okay, now I know. Team obviously avoiding the spring breakers.
These are Panteras, Ferraris, you name it, Lamborghinis. They all like to run up and down here and make a big sound because the building echoes the acoustics of their exhaust. So at night, that right there looks like a Corvette actually, but could be something else. And Corvettes look like Ferraris. It's that blue one going right there. And I understand they go all night, but I won't hear anything. This is my room right here. Crazy, crazy nice. That right there, I don't know what that is.
Tim thinks anything with a. Tim wants to know what this is, guys. Put it in the chat. I know some of you actually do know. Probably a lot of. I'm sure a lot of hotels there because of obviously Fort Lauderdale's proximity. It's like pretty foggy at the moment over there. It's not very clear skies, Tim.
The Hard Rock Cafe is the guitar and all that. Is that it? Let me see.
Now I know why he asked if there was a scooters in Fort Lauderdale. Because he's in the Fort Lauderdale area. Oh, there's the Hard Rock Cafe guitar. Right there. For our New Zealand folks who probably aren't used to just seeing giant guitars in the air. It does look very muggy. But you can make out the shape of that guitar. It's got that huge guitar. I wonder if you'll see a sun. I would hope so, Barbie. Manchester's more sunny. I know it's pretty muggy was the good word. It's foggy. Yes. That thing is huge. Look at it compared to the buildings. I think he's in holiday near a cruise boat. Do you think he's about to go on a cruise? He's going to have to get one of those. Tim's going to have to get one of those ID cards because he doesn't have a passport. Can he get one of those? I thought the reason why he wasn't having one of those real IDs, I thought the reason he didn't have a passport was to do with the fact that he didn't pay child support in California. He's grim. It looks pretty grim, Tim. Always show the best. Oh, well, you know he spent hours editing this video, Sammy. You know that. So, and Sandstorm heading to, oh my God. Well, Tim's right there on its, I hope not. But look at that thing. You can look, you can't, this is how muggy and this is. Look, the top of the guitar is completely missing. That thing is huge. Wow. I mean, I've been to Vegas, but everything is big out there. So it's hard to sort of, I don't think they have just a giant guitar like that in Vegas. In front of the hotel, I think it has it. It's been a while since I've been in Vegas.
That's it. That is it. It's way out there. Visibility is poor. Looking at some of the residents over in here, people living large all throughout. I see a golf course over here. My first time viewing out here, so.
Tim, you just gave your envy away. Yes, always people out there living large. Tim, that's what Tim wanted from this YouTube channel, guys. He wanted to live large. He was living large for a while. He was comparatively to where he was at in a tent with that little sedan that he had. Didn't he have like a Toyota Corolla or some type of sedan? You guys put it in the chat. You'll know what it was. He had that little like sedan. And he literally lived in a tent on Teddy and Jolene's property. And so Tim is definitely, as much as he says that the 401ks, and he doesn't even say 401k, 401, the retirement, the home, all of that is just nonsense. You need to be in a RV, on a slab, ready to pick up and go wherever you are once you take that early retirement check and get that side hustle job, which does not sound like retirement. That's just like, well, I'm just reducing to part-time. I mean, just be honest about it. But Tim likes to paint, likes to, put lipstick on a pig, as they say. And he's puts lipstick on a pig on his Social Security advice all the time. All right, keep going, Tim, because we want to get to these text messages.
I'm sure over the next couple of days, I'll be catching more and more things and curious about it. Some little downtown looking kind of a, residential condo area that's kind of glommed up right there. The airport is that way. Which way? Yeah, it's back that way, of course. Yeah, it's Fort Lauderdale. Yeah, I came 3 miles down this road after getting off 595 and the airport. Cruise ship terminals down there. Port of entry. Port Everglades, they call it. And this is lovely, isn't it? So welcome to my world.
Lovely?
I'll get you the lobby and...
Welcome to my world, says the narcissist. Isn't it lovely? No, Tim, it looks really foggy out there. It looks cloudy. And then probably muggy humidity too. Some shit, humidity probably getting up. Because it's starting to get up here in Virginia at the moment. And what I know in South Carolina when I lived there, I mean, it gets hot, guys. Hot. Tell you, if you're from the UK, the summer like we know summers is not the time to come to the United States if you're not a fan of the heat. I tell you, you will melt.
Some of the amenities and the resort fee that is charged to your room here daily of what it includes. There's Wi-Fi. There's all kinds of benefits you get for what you pay for. And it's just going to be an amazing couple of days. And waking up in the morning, having coffee.
Somebody said this Diplomat Beach Resort is part of the Hilton family of hotels, I want to say. And so we're wondering if he was discounted a room by Hilton Tom, but he hasn't given Hilton Tom a shout out, which he usually would. But maybe he told him not to do that anymore. Who knows? It's a conspiracy theory.
Coming out here should be nice. There'll be a sunrise if you can see it. The weather is almost like 100% rain chance today and tomorrow with clearing the day I leave. But as long as it's, not...
Ronald, you're going to be tasked to have to go over to the Diplomat Beach Resort. Find Tim in the wild now. Ronald, you can't put out information like that. And then, not expect to be, hired as unpaid paparazzi. Because I have, at the moment, no money to pay you guys. Other than your anonymity. Unless you want to say something like Sharon did. Because Sharon's been good paparazzi too. I'm sure Tim hates it. Keep going, Tim. Keep showing us this luxury. I have this is a nice beach. I have a very wide beach here. Virginia Beach is super wide. And they have this thing called Jackalope. It's like some sort of skateboard park or something. I don't know. They set the whole thing up on the beach. And then they have this huge surf park they're building. But I'm getting out of here, as we know. But I mean, we have a lot of stuff. This looks very built up to me, like which way's the sun? I hope you're not none of this is blocking the sun. Some of the hotels, once the sun starts to turn, it starts to block the beach at the end of the day. I don't know if it's like that in this area, but it's like that here in Virginia Beach. We've got a very long resort beach. It's like 4 miles or something. It's big.
Not a deluge. I'm happy. I'm just going to make friends with it. But look at all these high rises. And this is not even Miami, folks. This is not even close to how many and how tall some of them are.
Oh, wow.
This is Dania, Hollywood, which is right on the border of Miami, south of Fort Lauderdale.
I wonder if they had parking included in this excursion. I know I've gotten trips to like DC and I've ensured that the parking was included with the, hotel room, because I don't want to suddenly get that DC daily parking fee. So, yeah, I'm sure the restaurants, no, they'll be having to find a McDonald's or something. Tim won't want to be paid. Especially now that his channel's that's why he was probably popping out all those videos. He needs to get some money for June.
The South Florida on the East Coast is it is huge. Lots of people, millions of people. Everyone's got a boat. Everyone's got a yacht. Everyone belongs to a golf course.
But watch out the cannonballs.
What is that? There's a racetrack right there. Look at that. Right there below that building, you can see it's a track. You can see the...
He's going to have to watch not to do those preacher seats. Can you imagine Tim preacher seating and cannonballing? Of course, Tim just, it's just wind blowing on the microphone. And Tim, pointing the camera and expects to get, 25,000 views for this because people just can't, wait to look at the Diplomat Beach Resort and Tim's commentary, especially when you hear what these other folks are about to say. I think a lot of you guys know, but I think looking at the two together makes it even more concrete.
The stands, I'm looking at a track right there. There's a circle turn. I don't know what that is. Is that Dania Park? Or what you call a horse track? I think they got rid of the greyhounds. They no longer run the dogs anymore.
And believe it or not, this was sped up to 1.25. So he's actually sped up speaking. So this is not normal speed. Can you imagine how he is at normal speed? I couldn't listen. He's so slow. And people have theories that he does that in order to make his videos last longer. Because Tim's a con artist. Let's be honest.
His radio antennas blinking out there to warn the planes and things coming in. So I hope you enjoyed that view. By the way, before we go, there's the parking garage. And
Tim is always jealous and envious. Narcissists always are. And narcissists are really boring. They really are. When he's not just trying to put on his persona and character, they're just boring people. Tim has no real hobbies they're all hobbies for a moment. And, I think people saw through him after they got to know him, as we know.
That right there. You ready? Publix, baby. Publix grocery store right there on the Intracoastal. Tell me they don't have money. This is the #1 employer in the state of Florida.
Oh, Tim's an expert on the Publix supermarket. Why is he pointing out Publix? Is that because that's where he's going to get all his food from, their instant food section? Somebody said about him getting a meal from Publix, and I was like, why are they mentioning that? I can't remember what it was. Now it's so random. But I'm like, oh, I know why they said that now.
More people work for Publix than any other company in the state of Florida, and they got them a fine location.
All about
and
money.
This is where I'm saying right here. The Diplomat Beach Resort.
She's already down at the cocktail bar. She left Tim up there. She's like, yeah, you can film this, and I'm going to go downstairs too. You're right. She's not in the gift shop. She's either in a gift shop or a cocktail bar. One of the two. She's certainly not hanging around listening to Tim fart on about the damn hotel in the hopes that he'll get 25,000 views from, innocent eyes on YouTube. Just abusing AdSense.
It's called a Curio or something. It's a long name.
Using the
but here
platform.
It is. It just keeps on going. Look at that. I'm 1, 2, 4, 7, 10. I think there's
Oh, he
probably
does?
10 more floors above me. And I'm on the south tower. That's the north tower right there. And like I said, not everyone has these walk around patios.
God.
That's the main thing about this room. So, all right, we'll get some more for you later. It's time for me to.
Yes, we know you will. Okay. Well, we might take a look at that, but let's take a look at these first before we get back to Tim. Let me take Tim off the screen. Let me actually put this up and then take Tim off. Okay. That's better. So, this went on to Darling's video today. This was from Zcall, and if anybody is familiar with Tim, and I posted this on my comment section today, and these are two that were kind of aware, and this might have stayed up. Some come up and come down, and people have been screenshotting. They don't always get sent to me because people probably think I'm the queen of mean, which is not true. I'm actually very kind. I just don't appreciate people having to feel this way when I examine human behavior as best I can. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. That would be able to, hopefully just sort of say to people, and I deal with a lot of just people in general having worked in, healthcare over an extended period of time. And we have to deal with different people in all different capacities. And part of what we get to obviously find out within finding out about our patients and their medical history is that patients also have mental health disorders. Absolutely. But it does help because sometimes the way they interact with us can be very indicative of these different types of personality traits. And for somebody who has seen actually diagnosed like grandiose narcissist and had to work with these patients in, very strange situations, then you start to become and having to deal with people with psychiatric issues and drug and substance use. And it comes along with dealing with patients with their medical issues too. Often those patients have more medical issues than any other type of patient population and tend to have, unfortunately, higher rates of mortality and morbidities and so forth. So it's just impacted. So Zcar came out and said, I would like to address those that may wonder why someone that supported ST, okay, this is Zcar, we know that came through his Toyota fan club, would now just be having a change of heart. And this was posted on Darling's page. They made this known. I can understand the reasoning. I do not want to get into specific details, which we can appreciate and understand. And we have no, I certainly, and I want to make sure I preface this. I have no hate towards any of Sarasota Tim's subscribers, except for the ones who specifically have tried to target me in malicious ways that have been notified and are part of my cease and desist with the attorney. And you know who you are. And people who know my cease and desist know who it is too. So it's not anything that is unknown. So, but anyway, I'm nothing against. But, if people were brigading with Tim, then, you're part of why people were like me and Lolive Oil and other channels like Darling initially was at one point, Darling was about to lose their channel. And their channel had come down for posting something that Tim had themselves anyway. It was bad. And they had to have somebody help them get their channel back on YouTube. So we almost lost Darling. Okay. So that's kind of what these people do. Yeah. Don't forget to hit the likes and subscribe. Thank you. So he said, I do not want to get into specific details because some things are better left unsaid. I will say this. My relationship with Tim Baker was similar to Jay's, rather than many of those who have actually never met or spent time with him, which is interesting because Jay is the other person who obviously we're going to see the comment from. So these are two that have come out, and I know they've I posted this one and they've come out, but I thought seeing them together tonight really is impactful. So he then goes on to say, I've personally experienced Tim's angry outbursts directed at me. So this is how he interacts with people who are supposedly supposed to be his friends. I don't think that, I mean, I've had like things that, you know, especially kind of girls, we can be stupid and say some dumb stuff, especially when we've had a couple of drinks. Not that alcohol is ever the excuse, but, you know, obviously you've said things that it's hurt a friend's feelings. And hopefully your friend's going to say, hey, that upset me, or I don't like that. And hopefully you either clear the air and you're able to move on, or you try to clear the air and the other person isn't able to move on, and you kind of reached an impasse, and that could be what could rupture a friendship. So things happen. We understand. But this is somebody that obviously had seen probably Tim on YouTube, thinks he's this great guy, thinks they have a lot in common, you know, which is why, you know, Tim's kind of weird parasocial relationships. And I know I'm a content creator and I interact with people, and it is that kind of fine line, you know, but you want to do things properly. You know, like if I wanted to do like something in Virginia Beach, I try to figure out how does YouTube recommend doing meet and greets? Are there other creators in this area that could be also part of the event, so we could do a much larger event and cross meet people? You know, what could we, you know, do in a safe way? And I think Tim started out that way potentially, but as time went on, he just stopped caring about that. I think the money and what he could gain, like buy me a coffees and all of that, and the grift and the con became more important than anything else. So D-Car goes on to say, and like I said, no hate. I don't, you know, this is, nobody is to go after this person's account or their platform on YouTube. I don't think this is a terrible person. I think this is a person who got disappointed. So Tim's personally directed angry outbursts directed at me when I was only trying to be helpful and provide advice to him. And it's probably around the channel. It's probably around the channel. And probably around people like me who he hates. Because we know he's copyright struck me multiple times and can't get rid of me. I'm the rash that won't go away now. Thanks to you all. Really, thanks to you all. Because I couldn't have afforded that attorney on my own. There's no way. So he is not the person he portrays in his videos. And a lot of us have been saying this for a long time. These are the turncoats. Yes, they are, Jack. These are the turncoats. Yep, Z-Car too. Absolutely. Yep. Tim only cares about Tim, the narcissist. This is a narcissist. Absolute, almost like a malignant narcissist, probably. YouTube demonetization and removal of his channel can't come soon enough. That's pretty harsh. And I know a lot of people feel this way. And I can promise you, Z-Car, I am trying to work on that. I have some things in my toolbox, and I think on a members only, I'll go over it and we'll decide as a community whether to march ahead. Because it's going to take a moment of me sitting down and kind of sorting through. I have the bones of the paperwork to put to YouTube's legal department. And I already have all the things that he's done. My attorney gave me everything. It's just up to me to kind of take the attorney's, piece kind of language out and kind of frame it that I'm the one providing this information to YouTube's legal and kind of seeing from there. But I have a lot of evidence of his misdeeds on this platform. So, I mean, how can we do that? I mean, like I said, because everyone paid for the attorney, the cease and desist contains most of what's needed to go to YouTube's legal. So it's just literally kind of taking out where it says it's, directed as a cease and desist to Tim, or we could raise money again and I can just ask my attorney to send that to YouTube. And just say he's not, I think at this time we've, have evidence to move ahead. So it's just like a matter of like, she's trying to save us money, basically. So yeah, she's trying to save us money. Yeah, he lost his narrative. Yeah, he's down to only 2 horsemen of the apocalypse now. Yeah, 2 moderators of the apocalypse. So that's what Zcar said. This part, that's wild. That's wild. That's wild. It is amazing as any followers left. Some people think he's charming, and maybe they don't see this, because remember, Tim tells everybody to ignore us, not to take any attention. And remember, Carl had been saying he hadn't seen Zcar around in a while. That's like, I'm wondering who's the next to fall. All right, so let's add the next one in. Yeah, it's well, it's not about the content, Carrie. It's about other things that he's done with other people and things that were sent. I've already got it in the cease and desist. Promise you, Tim's done some malicious things because he's a narcissist. So it's not the content that's going to take him down. It's the other stuff he's done. And he's done some shady stuff, I promise you, to other creators, to me specifically. It's a lot. Brigading and all sorts of stuff. Some of the posts that got left. And yeah, he's got a bunch of stuff. His false copyright strikes, for one. So this was Jay Bianco, and that's JJ. So yeah, it's all about the content. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, content. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not really about the content. It's the other stuff that he does on the shady side behind all of it. It's all the other stuff. Yeah, yeah. They're all around lonely widows and such. Yeah, that's why he likes to talk solo. That's why he doesn't want Miss Tammy. I mean, people don't really appreciate Miss Tammy ever since she said about shoving a drink in somebody's face or throwing is what we thought we heard. He said shove. It's like there's a huge semantic difference. Okay, so this was on a new reactor channel. Nobody wants to come to mind. They know I exist. They know I exist. I'm not the huge reactor channel. But in the world of Sarasota Tim, I'm one of the moderately sized reaction channels. Thanks to you guys. The hard thing. So we had heard in a video, and this one is particularly kind of sad to me because as I said at the start, I think I did. I worked in oncology for quite some time as an RN. And one of the areas I worked in was radiation oncology, which is a very specialized field. And specifically, a lot of times we're working with patients with breast cancer. And so I know, depending on her type of breast cancer, this could be really serious because it's 3 things. One, if there's obviously there's going to be potentially a mass or tumor. So there's surgery. That will be the first part. And then it used to be surgery and done. And then they found that was not effective, that you can't do that because there's a good chance of the cancer reoccurring because you really haven't eradicated it. So it's surgery and then it's combined. It's chemo and then radiation. And so they have to go through all of it. And it's exhausting and it's really rough. Unless it's so, when he says fighting breast cancer, it makes me think she's having to go through the 3-stage route. And they have to go under treatment for an extended period of time. It's extremely painful once they get to radiation. It's very painful and it's horrible. If anybody has ever had anybody who's had to have radiation therapy for cancer, it's horrific. I don't think I've heard they literally have to make these like body things, like these like webbed special suits, and it could be over your face, wherever the body part is. Okay, it could be literally your rectum. Okay, wherever the cancer's at, and they need to target those particular locations. And so they have to ensure that they're always getting that beam of radiation to the exact same spot every time. And these people literally have to wear like these special pellets on their bodies, and they have to have these like sort of like kind of like a mesh cast type thing that ensures the person is always in the exact same position every single time they're radiated, so they don't deviate from any of it. It's not like it really is very exacting. And some of these people, because they're getting it in their throat, they literally have like a mesh thing that goes over their heads to keep their heads in place, to get their whole like radiated at their throats. It tears up your skin like you would not believe. It's awful. It's awful. And they have to do it 5 days a week, and they can go on, and it's for weeks. That's why we ring the bell at the end of it. It makes me want to cry to think about how selfish of an individual Sarasota Tim is. And this is why it kills me that when I try to make videos talking about what a horrendous human being this person is, that I get, he gets more people sending him money to his buy me a coffee. And I think I misunderstood, but there were people that used to send money on coffee saying to people, why are you donating to this guy? You should be donating to a real charity or something decent, something good, And so he, had to put everything private because he didn't want people to not send money to him. So we've seen Zcar that literally Tim has screamed angry at somebody who was just trying to help him give advice. Somebody he's not even known but a couple of years. When somebody's trying to give advice, I don't think I've ever screamed at a friend like as an adult. I don't think that's ever happened. I don't even remember doing that. You had radiation for brain cancer, and I'm sorry if I've missed stuff. I went on a bit of a roll there. To everybody in the audience who've had loved ones who've experienced it, I have a big passion, so I apologize for missing it. I feel a lot for Miss Bev. I had radiation for brain cancer after tumors removed. My mask, is in your maple tree as a bird feeder now. Best wishes to Bev. Yes. And I'm so sorry. And I know you rang the bell, and I'm so glad that you are still with us. It makes me want to cry. It just, this is why I do this, because I really do believe that somebody like Sarasota Tim is an absolute, like, not a good individual, gives bad information about medical professionals, especially. He demonizes doctors. This is the people that are trying to save JJ's wife. And this is the type of people that Tim demonizes. Tim doesn't see any doctors. He's full of shit. I have to be good for you, Tim. They'll demonetize me. So, yeah. Screaming, at anybody is verbal abuse. Absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. I work with like pediatric children. Can you imagine Tim working with kids with special needs? My kid adores me. I love her too. Anyway, Jay should have walked away from Tim that day when he stabbed him for not filming. Yes. Him grilling, or when he snapped at him for not getting the angles right when he was doing that terrible golfing and dragging him around. And remember, he got all upset because that was when I was first starting to make commentary around Tim, was when JJ met him up in Laughlin. And it took him this long to find out what he is. So I am wanting to wish, obviously, JJ, obviously, I know I've had videos out where I've talked about Tim getting comfortable in your home, really, because I thought he was rude and disrespectful to you, and particularly to your wife, Bev. So as another female, I thought this man was rude, and your wife was extremely kind, and he was taking advantage of your hospitality and your kindness, and we could tell he was. And I understand that you were his friend, but sometimes other adults will see things in other adults, especially when it's a glaring narcissist like Tim. So he says she had 2 recent surgeries and will be starting radiation therapy as well as chemo. So I hadn't even read that bit. I just went off on a tangent about the breast cancer. And because when he said it was fighting, I didn't even see that part. I promise you, I'm just very familiar. So I really feel this in my heart. And so what we're going to do here as a community, and this person, Jay, if you want to reach out to whoever this channel was and however you want to reach out to me, I know that you've had a specific cancer charity that you have aligned yourself to in Florida. I am hoping that what we can do here as a community, I will be doing this properly through YouTube. There's a way that we can actually set up a charitable live stream that all proceeds that this stream would make, and I'm going to try to see if I can get any other people from our community to pop into the stream in order to be part of a fundraiser-thon and really use this community to do what it should be doing, which is good, which is what YouTube is about. This is what the heart of this community is about. And so we are going to find either a breast cancer charity, but obviously in Florida, we are going to specifically choose Florida, since that's where JJ and Bev live. If JJ, Bev, if you have a specific center, oh, yes, they are. They're starting to, yes, Brando. Tim's audience is fine. That's how bad of a perfect person he is. Love your life, Suze. Well, thank you, Brando. Thank you. So, yeah. Oh, you're so welcome. And thank you for that, Super. That was really awesome. I like all those lucky numbers, too. Yes, absolutely. A few times that Tim's son showed up and has never seen him with a smile. I don't think Tim's ever, probably not. It can be very traumatizing to be adult children of especially narcissistic parents. It's very traumatizing. And Tim certainly didn't try to, he said that his son drove for Uber, and I don't judge people, but I don't think Tim was worried. Tim's not teaching the best. I just think he's not giving the best. He absolutely praying for Bev. Tim could have absolutely done something, amazing for those kids of his with the monies that he got through YouTube. And all he is worried about is this shopping addiction and buying a bunch of assets that have no value. So he's not set up probably any trust funds, all that money. Do you think that he set up a trust fund for any of his grandchildren or even his children who are still quite young? He could have put a few $1,000s, something in a CD with all that money that came in from YouTube, because he had a lot. I promise you, I can see even on one of my tiny little videos, like a decent little chunk of change, if you may. I mean, obviously, it's not to the number of videos that this person puts out or to the numbers that he used to have in the past. But I mean, he bought pew-pews and other stuff. That's what he did. But we are going to find out. Like I said, I am being absolutely honest. If anybody knows Jay Bianco and wants to find out either with Bev or Jay what their preferred cancer charity is, I am going to set up for this weekend a live stream specifically to raise money. We'll see which other crap that Tim's popped out for us to look at. We'll react to whatever crap. We're going to ask. I'm going to find out. I'm going to reach out to our community and see if we can get, Miss Vicky to come in. I know she's got a lot of stuff going on, so we'll see if she's free and available, just like life stuff. We're going to I'll check in with Blind Views. We'll see if, I don't think Darling will be able to make it, but we'll see. Maybe Buckeye Gordon. I'll reach out. I'll just offer it to everybody. Any of them. Dick Carl, of course. Get Carl to pop in on my live stream if he wants. I'll send the links. It's not hard. I can bring him up on StreamYard, maybe one at a time. And, we'll get like some fun like that so we get some interest. And whatever we raise, because there's a way to do it. I've seen it before from other creators where it can get like directly to that charity. I don't even know if it has to come through me. Like I can set it up and we can set like a goal of money to raise. And we'll raise money for a breast cancer charity out in Florida or something affiliated with the hospital, whichever. Something of that nature in honor of Bev. Because Tim would never do that in 1,000 freaking years. But we're going to do it. And you're going to, so take a look. Make sure you keep looking out for that information about that. And Fifth Dimension had some good news. And I'm sorry I missed it, Fifth Dimension. Somebody had some good news. Congratulations, Fifth Dimension. Thank you. No, we're going to do that. It's going to come up this weekend. So look out for it in the community posts. Okay. So Jay went on to say, thanks for wishing her well. Something Tim has never once asked about her since her diagnosis. So we know that he mentioned that Bev had some illness. I think for Tim, that means, oh, well, she's sick and stuff. She can't do shit for me anymore. Pardon my French. And Tim's a taker. And this is what he says. And we know she did all this stuff. He's incapable of being a friend. Bev cooked for him, did his laundry, and was a good, caring person to him. Who does that sound like? Who's that sound like? Jolene or Miss Rafaela? Rafaela more than anything, too. Jolene cooked him breakfast. Tammy doesn't do any of that stuff. The one woman that he's, she's, whooping in the cushions with is the one person who doesn't do that stuff. But she pays for probably these resort stays and stuff and those cruises. So Tim is always taking from women. And then he's got people there, and then all those people that send him money and call him a good Christian. This is a good Christian? The guy who's screaming at somebody he's known for less than 2 years, the guy who's doesn't have the capacity to do anything for a man's wife who's struggling with breast cancer, not one piece of anything. Last time, and Darlene did a great video. Check it out. Last thing he talked about was he's just going to get a coffee maker from them. He is really I can't even with this individual. I mean, I know I'm very introverted nowadays, and I don't, ever since the pandemic and my friends' kids have grown, I don't see people like I used to. I'll be honest. I YouTube, I go to school, I work. I'll be honest. But I wouldn't treat my friends like this, though. When my friends have asked me for anything, I'm there. People don't ask for a lot. Most of my friends are pretty independent. People rarely ask me, but when they do, I'm there. So they need something, I'm there. Laundry. Remember that? He was rolling around. He hadn't done his laundry. And then I guess he was going to take Miss Rafaela to the airport, probably exchange for laundry. Because this man can't even touch his own damn smalls. Okay. He wants somebody else's wife washing his smalls. He's terrible. Just the worst human being. Oh my gosh, we're coming up to 2 hours. We might be ending this soon. It's getting late. I got to be up at 5 a.m. I just forgot. So she was just a good, caring person to him when he was a guest 3 times in our home, as well as on a cross country with him. And we know he was making himself very comfortable in JJ and Bev's house. I mean, the man literally had his paws in the juju beans. Now, I don't know if they knew he was filming like that in the home, and maybe that's why he kept copy striking my JJ and Bev videos. I thought it was like JJ was just getting upset, but maybe he was that so much of his house was being shown. Who knows? But Tim specifically used to strike me on JJ videos. Anyway. So JJ, I was trying to warn you. He's not a good person. Nobody wanted to listen to me. I've lost all respect I had for him. Well, none of us had a lot of respect for Tim in the first place, but I'm glad that you saw the light. And this comment disappeared. So it was up briefly. So somebody wanted to get JJ wanted to get this off his chest, but then he decided I guess he didn't want the drama. Somebody saw it though, because it was put on a much smaller channel, screenshot, and it got sent to some creators. Not to me though. Darn it. Well, somebody else did. So obviously the scoop came out. He's got a lot of nerve calling me a turncoat. So when there was a video recently where Tim talked about turncoats, and that potentially was JJ, or JJ takes that as being his, something. Maybe Tim called him that. Who knows? But that's how it was perceived by JJ. There's more. Wow. But I'll leave it at this. And that's what Z-Car said, remember? There was a lot more about him. Oh, I promise you, when I was starting to send the attorney's letters and stuff, I promise you, there was a drunk Tim one night in a sock account asking me where I worked and was saying some real creepy stuff. Remember he wanted to come up here and visit Virginia Beach? Never been to Virginia. Suddenly wanted to come to Virginia Beach. He was real mad when I sent, because I, you know, not gonna have this, you know, be the legacy of YouTube. Is that this is where, you know, people get upset with reaction. Leave him alone. This is a good person. You must be obsessed. You're a nasty person. No, I just think that as a community, if we were in a town or some type of small village or something, we would be warning other people about this dude. Okay? We'd be like, hey, look, you got to be on the lookout for Mr. Baker over there. He's a right such and such. But it's a different world, and we are in a social media, and we are in a like internet world. And so, and these people are just persistently everywhere. They're, you know, out there, and hurting could potentially, you know, somebody of these people let into their home, man. Thanks again for you wishing of Bev the best. I feel confident she'll make a recovery. And I do too. I am hoping that she's in awesome hands. And it seems like Bev is a real sweetheart. She had a very beautifully kept home. The fact that she would allow him in to film, give him a guest room, do his laundry. Can you imagine being a guest and showing up with a week of your dirty smalls? Would you do that to your friends? And he took him to a cheap Chinese buffet. That's what they got. A cheap Chinese buffet. And he said that's where they wanted to eat. They probably knew what a cheap asshole he is. I had friends of mine. I used to stay at their house. What did I do in return? I was the only person who would babysit all 4 of their kids. And 2 were twins and babies. They were all under the age of 6. And I didn't charge them a penny. I'd just be like, go out of town and have a good time. Whole weekends and stuff. And they would end up giving me cash and wanting to spoil me rotten. And I'd be like, just have a good time. You're awesome friends. Okay, I don't need the money. But they would always want to give me something for gas, whatever. You know, I took care of so many of my kids' friends over time. I loved it. I've taken my kids' friends to ballet and stuff, and like at Christmas to see the Nutcracker. I love doing stuff like that. To the movies. I don't even ask my friends for the money. I pay for it. I can't with him. So if I don't hear from, so I'm going to set up the live stream. Probably, I'm thinking it's going to be for this Saturday night. I'm off Friday, which means that I can take the time to make sure I get everything set up through YouTube. I would love to hear from JJ, which preferred cancer charity. I know he had one because he said in his YouTube page that he didn't take any type of financial donations, that he wanted everything to the specific cancer treatment center in Florida. Now, I don't know if that's his preferred, but I would love to find out. If not, I would love to hear from anybody under the post, even the Z-Car one I put out today, or email me. Maybe we can start getting some suggestions of a good Florida-based charity, specifically with breast cancer. I'd like to do something small and local to the area. But like I said, I would love to know which would be Bev's preference, really. Where would she like to see that money go? And we will plan on Saturday night. So I have some time to plan it, to get together here as a community, and let's raise some money. And let's do some. I know everyone. We're all pushing stuff, so it doesn't. If you don't have anything to give, the likes, comments, subscribing, and just watching will help. Because anything that the live stream raises, I think it will be up to a certain amount of time. Because obviously, I'm going to monetize the live. That afterwards. So for anybody who watches on the replay, anything that's raised, just being there for that will help raise money for this charity. And you'll see how much, can we raise on a live stream, and they will be fantastic. So let's just pop over one last time to see Tim's night vision, and then we're out of here. Because Junebug needs one last walk. How long is this, Tim? It's $1 million view. This is the narcissist. Jesus, Tim. I can't with your narcissism. It's awful. I just can't. His narcissism is wild. The more I just hear it, it's just like, oh my God, you're exhausting with it almost. Okay. 8 minutes. Gosh, we're speeding this up. I don't even know if we'll get through all this, especially if it's just Tim talking about this. Oh, great. It's $1 million view from the Diplomat Beach Resort. Hashtag Social Security. What does this have to do with hashtag Social Security? What? Other than Tim having a Social Security check. And this needs to be stopped. This alone could get his butt in trouble with YouTube. I wish.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Sarasota, Tim.
They can't tell you. One person, they're on the lam in Kuwait, and they still have their channel up. This person is like, oh my gosh, that's a whole God.
Coming to you from the 27th floor of the Diplomat Beach Resort here in Hollywood, Florida, overlooking the city view. I was promised it would be pretty spectacular, and they didn't oversell it. It's really amazing. You're looking at the due west, and coming around to the south, looking towards Miami. Around the corner, and over there, you can see is the edge. That's the ocean. And if I walked over there...
Well, passive, you missed everything, and it was all good. You're going to have to catch it on the replay.
There'd be so much wind noise in the microphone, you wouldn't be happy. So there was some lightning going on here a few minutes ago, and it's definitely a little bit of rain coming down. Just got back from McDonald's, got an after-dinner coffee. Had a great dinner at J. Alexander's up in Fort Lauderdale. It was about a 35-minute drive. It was very cool, a lot to see. Went up there, and that's the Hard Rock Hotel right there with the guitar. I'll zoom in for you. Focus. There you go.
Yeah, cool. We had a lot of tea. The tea was heavy tonight.
It is a spectacular view.
More spotting the Tim in the wild.
Fort Lauderdale right there.
The Tim tea was piping tonight. His subscribers are starting to come out of the woodwork and let us know that Tim is even worse than they're able to say. Like, they don't want to get into it because they probably don't want repercussions from Tim, because Tim knows where all these people live. And he likes to tell people all the time he has all these pew-pews. I don't know now if he's not brigading or showing off over to these other people. Like, in a show of manliness. And one person sticking by Toxic Tammy, the savage thrower of coffee.
Let's see if I can see it. Around somewhere out there. What are those tall buildings at? There we are. There it is. Fort Lauderdale. Fort Lickerdale, we used to call it. Fort Lauderdale, when I lived in Boynton Beach, Lake Worth, growing up high school.
What a good thing for a nice Christian man to call Fort Lauderdale. Fort Lickerdale. Yeah, it sounds like what my Uncle Sonny, he used to be a right-hand man to Jerry Falwell, would say.
Nothing was up there. Everyone had to come to Fort Lauderdale to find action. Once you become, a teenager and someone out looking to have a good time. And we're south of that here in Hollywood. Dania Beach is up here about a mile. And then right down the road here, a little bit further south, is Miami.
I know. I'm surprised he hasn't dry begged for gas money yet. Because, this is Tim.
No. I simply asked. I said, I wish I could have that dry begging. Well, you know what that is.
And he's one of the biggest dry begging grifters on YouTube. He puts out this terrible content. And, Dreambug, what are you doing over there to the couch? Thank you. He's on one of those scratch fests. It's like, girl, you're tearing up the couch.
And I can see the rain is actually coming down pretty good. Starting to come over from the beach. The weather is approaching from the south now. It's not tracking from Sarasota, west coast, over to the east coast. It's actually making a little counterclockwise swirl when we look at the weather on the radar. And, you know,
I've always been interested in finding out really more about Tim. We've done a lot of searching, I have to say. But we're always looking for photos in the wild. It's the new section that we're going to have on this channel. I'll make a little bit. I got to make this little video. Tim in the wild, you know, because he loves being famous.
it is what it is. What can you do? But it isn't pouring down raining or anything like that. I held off the whole drive to Denver and back. And now I'm going to go in and get a really nice shower with that shower head I showed you in the video, and get in that bed, put on that big screen TV, see what's going on, keep the curtains open, and look out this lit view. This reminds me a lot of the Cosmopolitan room I had in Las Vegas that I was hosted by Mr. Justin. And even in a way, because a lot more lights, a lot more.
The 8 minutes. Tim made sure he got to full monetization with mid-roll ads, everybody. 8 minutes. Whatever the heck is that? What is up with that? What is up with that sky? Oh, there must be some light up. That's weird. That is a very strange cut on that cloud. Where did the guitar go? Where's the guitar?
Oh, look what the Hard Rock's doing right now. That's some kind of thing going on.
What's that?
Look at that.
Oh, it is the guitar. Oh, so does it not have a higher thing up here? I guess it's low because there's airplanes. I'm so confused. It doesn't look like a full guitar shape. It's like missing its the handle, like that part of the guitar. I don't know. I used to know the names of these things. That part of the guitar, that arm part. Tim, this is dire content.
Oh, wow. The guitar-shaped hotel. Just without the part of the hole in your fingers. Pretty neat, huh? There's the Intercoastal Waterway right down below here. Now, it could be a lot better with a clear, no wind, amazing evening. This is still amazing. I gotta tell you. The ocean out there looks dark.
Well, we know he's over at the Diplomat Beach Resort, probably Tammy. I'm thinking Tammy paid for this one. I don't even know Tim doesn't pay for anything. This must be Tammy. Tammy must be giving Tim some loving this weekend.
Lights it all ends right there on that shoreline. Check out the building right here. I'll zoom in. You're talking about oceanfront. Right on the sand. When you go down here, this is US 1A1, well, US 1A1A, and you go down to that light right there and make a right, you'll go.
Now that would be terrible if we suddenly heard that there was this elderly YouTube content creator who had stumbled off a balcony while filming. What would the chance of that be? Especially the way he's out here you know how Tim gets distracted. He's got them wonky eyes. Tim, I don't think this is a wise plan. That's why Tammy got this high. Maybe this is why do you think Tammy's got a life insurance policy on Tim? Tim, you could be next for the Black Widow. Oh, wouldn't that be the story? I could be on 48 Hours, guys. They could be interviewing me. I could be like, yeah, we were all watching and investigating. We all thought the death of Dwayne Musselman was absolutely suspicious. And then Tim went to the Diplomat Hotel and they had a room up on the 27th floor. We thought, who would pay for that? And then the story comes out that Tammy says, well, he was filming a video and he just stumbled and took a fall. The next thing we know, she has an insurance policy on Tim. Allegedly.
Across this waterway over a bridge. That's Allendale Beach Boulevard. And when you go over the drawbridge, that red light right there on the bridge, I believe that's what I'm showing you. And you look from the middle of that bridge to your left or down south there, it is a jungle of high.
I would hate to say they probably put that thing beaming brightly in the city of Virginia Beach. Like, we're gaudy, we're tacky, we're All of it.
All residents, all these people living. We see a lot of lights are out because people have gone back north. But a lot of people are still here.
Absolutely. Tammy's still downstairs in the bar while Tim up here filming this stuff. That's what Tammy is. Or she's in the room watching TV and Tim's stuck on the balcony having to film this. Or they've come up, Tammy's back upstairs from dinner to refresh her makeup in order for them to then hit the Hard Rock Cafe and get that last night bedtime, little, oh gosh, I don't even know the terms anymore. A little something like to help her sleep, a little, bedtime drink. I can't remember the terms now. That's how little I drink. Gosh.
A lot of people fly in for the weekends, or people have Airbnb or whatever they're doing. But you can see it's getting a little harder to see over that way because the rain is starting to come in. It's a little clearer out this way. And then looking back towards Fort Lauderdale again.
That is strange, that line.
There for you.
That is so
that was
weird.
Really...
That it's just such a distinct cut, and it's like night. I don't know. That's strange. Looks very built up. It'd be very built up for me. I used to live in big cities, London, Mexico City. Oh, I'm not a fan anymore.
Really nice up there, past Las Olas and Broward Boulevard, getting up to the J. Alexander's. Had a fantastic waitress.
Oh, nightcap.
An amazing dinner. There was.
Thank you for giving me nightcap. Nightcap. Thank you. It's when you just can't remember a word, it was on the tip of your tongue. You're just like, I've learned now not to frustrate myself and move on. But thank you for telling me that word. That's the word I was looking for. Nightcap.
Ribs. There was filet mignon. There was baked potatoes, string fries, amazing coleslaw they serve, and I asked for a water with a couple of lemons, and when she refreshed it, she brought back a small plate with these huge wedges of lemon, like a moon shape, lined up, 4 of them. Everything they do there is just completely, catering to you.
No, catering to me. I'm a narcissist. Listen to Tim. Catering to me, catering to, he says catering to you, but when you hear that, that the you is Tim. He has to be top line treated. Top line. You don't want to pay for it, but you better be treating this entitled man who gets angry at people who try to give him advice. That's why he ran about me. Tim, I do this because I know how happy I make you.
Give me the ultimate service, and the food, the filet mignon, unbelievable.
Oh, God.
I might have to switch from ribeye to filet mignon and just start eating a bunch of bacon to get my fat, because that filet mignon, you can find a good one somewhere. Tender steak.
Even Tammy, when the way she kind of sort of like, I don't think she speaks much, but when she does, she definitely seems to just be on his side. Like when she said about throwing the drink, it wasn't funny. The two of these two are just toxic together. I just, just the fact that they, just can we stop rewarding bad people? Can we stop believing this person is crushing it for Christ, or that he's going to have a repentance or something? It's a shame his subscribers, promise you, those of you who aren't sending him coffee money and stuff, he barely cares. I mean, he's happy you give him AdSense, but if you're not sending him money, yeah.
Steak is good. It's really, really good. So if you ever been to J. Alexander's, your neighborhood, check it out. So I guess I'll go back in and get that shower and retire.
Oh, he ate at J. Alexander's? I'm surprised he didn't send the steak back. Tim is just like, he and Tammy are living the high life now, because Tammy's got Dwayne's money and Tim's got YouTube money and the money he took on the IDL and PPP loans. These two probably Florida lives, in my opinion. That's my opinion. Only I'm allowed to have one. Occasionally I can say words like low life, even though I feel mean. But they're not quality humans in my mind. Have they done anything really good with this channel? Really good. Other than enrich themselves? Probably not.
Turn on the big screen. And tomorrow morning, get some coffee going, come out here, walk around the lobby, the pool area. We'll see what the weather brings to bring in as much video as I can, and possibly drive around a little bit. Maybe on Thursday when I check out, I might go to Palm Beach County and check in again somewhere else and, you know, start to find some sunshine, maybe up in Jupiter or something like that. To really finally get to the beach and some sun. Hopefully this inclement weather will pass us by. But just out having a good time, living life here in South.
I don't know what's been out with the allergies lately. I've been sneezing like a billy, and I guess they've been cutting the grass. Oh my gosh, like it's all here. I need to get my inhaler.
Florida. Appreciate you guys watching. If you don't mind giving the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I'll try to bring you some really good footage.
And just remember, even going in and disliking Tim's content gets him a view and engagement. So if you want to wait for us reaction channels to, you know, show you this boring stuff, wait for us. Otherwise, it's the same old stuff with him just meh. Otherwise, it just gives him views. And even the downvotes give him engagement, and YouTube doesn't notice the difference. The only thing is it indicates to Tim how unpopular he is. That's it. But otherwise, YouTube doesn't care. So it hurts him actually, and I can't really advertise for that, but it would hurt a creator more to just have their videos absolutely, completely ignored. Because when I put out cruddy videos that my audience has no interest in, YouTube lets me know, like, your audience is, not as interested in this video as the others. And sometimes it's a creator I'm talking about that nobody has any interest. And I'm hoping over time that we can just have conversations about, general scammers on YouTube, especially ones who are older people. The younger people do their like scam folks who are like on TikTok and stuff. We have our grifters in the older universe as well, The grifting never ends. These narcissists never know any bounds. Tim and his over 8 minutes to make sure he gets mid-roll AdSense. He knows.
That's what this Diplomat Beach Resort has to offer. If you would like to come and stay, check the rates, find yourself a deal. And right now is a good time of the year, not season. Come over here and crush it.
No, Tim. We don't think you're going to crush it. We don't think you're going to crush it, Tim. We don't think Tim's going to crush anything at this point, guys. We're hoping the only thing that Tim's going to crush is his channel away. That it will just slowly die away. But I think while he's still getting people to get that darn video, I wish Dr. Ed Weir would take down that Social Security video for me. Like, complain to YouTube that Tim video needs to go away. I know that people enjoy hearing like anecdotal stories, but still, Jesus, why does it have to be from Tim? I know I can be irritating too. I get it, but at least my heart's in the right place. Oh, anyway, it's been wild, guys. I can't believe that the cracks are starting to show in Tim's very faithful subscriber base. So faithful and so enamored were they with Tim. They became personal friends with him, obviously met him, had friendships with him to the extent where Tim felt comfortable in treating these people like absolute nothing in a very quick amount of time. He literally only met JJ not even a year ago, because I remember when he said that he had a subscriber who'd reached out to him. They were coming up in their camper, and that was the first time we met JJ. And he seemed like a decent enough chap. I mean, I'm not a big fan of all the pew-pews and stuff, but he then struck at Zachary Michael's channel, and then I think he felt bad about it, and then they retracted that from Zachary's channel. JJ never touched me. Obviously, they couldn't. But I don't know if they were just kind of frustrated because Tim and just kind of getting dragged into Tim's drama, because obviously when you have an absolute a-hole like Tim, and you start to, you're going to have drama. Like I said, I know that I have people that say stuff about me and people tell me about it, or people, I don't care. Best way to react is to not react, you know? And I take that as a form of compliment. People don't realize that if people are wanting to talk about me, it means I'm either doing something right or I'm notorious enough on the platform that people know who I am. And that's saying something, because YouTube has thousands and thousands and millions of channels. So I'm so glad you found mine tonight, guys. This has been a fantastic one. Let me know. Maybe I'll just put out a general post tomorrow about the suggestions for the charity so that I can start setting up whatever I need to do through YouTube in order to, because there's like a way to do it as a charitable stream. And so I want to make sure that I know which charity. So by Friday, I'll be having like any suggestions for a good charity in Florida. I don't know if Jay or anyone knows Jay. Told me wants to reach out to them and ask them what their preference is, and we can make sure we do that, and that we will, as a community, we'll raise some money. We'll do some good over here, and we'll make sure we get it to those folks, especially since, you know, I think many of us have had those who we've cared about, maybe a friend, a loved one who has had experience with breast cancer, maybe passed from breast cancer, sadly. So like me, who works with patients. So yeah, I think even though it's not Breast Cancer Awareness Month, it doesn't matter. I think we just should do this as a community. I don't make money from YouTube like that. Why would I? Maybe one day, but you know, and I would hope that if I did, that along the way, we just keep doing things for good too, because that would be so much more cool for me. You know, that would make a so much better community. That's the sort of stuff that I like to do. That's me. That's more me. Not that I don't want help going to grad school and stuff. Don't get me wrong. So I'm going to finish this out because I have some sad news for me today. And this is the last thing I'm going to say. So I am obviously in grad school, and I had to have a couple of leaves of absence because I think anybody knows who lives in anywhere in the globe at the moment, stuff's expensive. And so I obviously own a home. I have a dog. I got a car, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I'm single. I'm not married. I don't really have any close family relatives, you know. So I'm very much on my own, you know, as far as that. Obviously, you don't hit your friends up for stuff like this. So as far as that is concerned, I am, you know, having to, you know, think about how was I going to do all of my clinical practice and still be able to work and pay all my bills. And I couldn't figure it out. And so I don't want to have to go on another, I don't want to drop out of grad school. So at this moment, because it's 580 hours of clinical rotation, and it's just every time I turn around, like this week alone, I have an extra bill that's well over $300. This is not a dry bag. Okay. This is just, they always seem to be $300 or $400, but it's just the extra bill. And it's something to do with like car property tax. And I just paid a registration for like my state tags, and that cost extra money, or my plate tags or something, because I have a fuel efficient vehicle. So I don't pay enough in gas tax. So Virginia told me. So basically, long story short, it's just, I couldn't see a way. Like, how am I supposed to not work full time and still pay for my mortgage? It's not possible. It's just not possible. I'm grifting. No, I'm not grifting actually, Rob, because I've changed my no, I'm saying I'm not grifting. You can say I'm a grifter. So that's fine, Rob. Because I'm not asking anyone today. I said I had to change because obviously I'm not a huge YouTube channel, and that would be a lot of work too, you know? So having a full-time YouTube channel and then trying to be in grad school would be very difficult too, I think. And so I am graduating out as a nurse educator, but it still allows me to very easily complete my clinicals once I can sell my condo and move out of here, and actually then get the proceeds from part of my home to be able to live on, because I'm going to have to be out of work probably for probably, it's going to be, it's like 6 months or so. And so it's a big chunk and you don't get that time. It's too much money for funding. It's like, I was just doing all of it. So yeah, that's fine. You can keep saying what you want, Rob, whatever, that's fine. Yeah. At least I own my dry bags, but I'm not dry bagging because I'm not asking anybody to pay for my grad school. Thank you very much. Yeah. You see, there's always one, but we'll allow them to remain because unlike Tim, I don't care if somebody wants to say I'm grifting because most of these people on this platform are monetized. The difference is that I'm not trying to say that I'm a good Christian with it or something, or I'm not trying to go after elderly, vulnerable old people to pay for my shoes. I'm not asking, never once asked for anyone to contribute to my dog's vet bills that I've had recently. Not once. Did I set up a GoFundMe to pay for my dog's vet bills? Hell no. Anything I ever asked for was help with the attorney. And I'm just saying that. So Rob can go get some coffee money and do whatever they need. Maybe lay off the booze, Rob. Rob can stay. I don't care. They can stay. They think they're being the best, because there's always going to be one that thinks that they're, clever. And that's, people have donated and I appreciate it. But so I cannot say that I'm trained to be a psychiatric nurse practitioner at the moment anymore. And I'm very sad. And it's been a really hard day because I've taken too many leaves of absence that the next one would be dropping out of school. Because I've had a lot going on, trying to catch up with my bills and stuff. And then just everything, the dog really did set me back, but I love my dog and it was worth it. And so because of that and all of it's going on. And then last year, as we all know, I got very, he is commenting from his, oh, you're fine. I don't mind, Catherine. I don't care if Rob wants to be, negative trolly in the post. It don't bother me. I don't care about a troll because it's the hard balance of being on a YouTube channel. Like you have a life, and I've been very open and honest about being in grad school. I'm just talking about the realities of how expensive grad school is. As far as having to literally stop working in order to complete my clinical rotations, which I won't have to do in this particular finish, which will allow me to graduate very soon and still will allow me in a couple of years or whenever to finish out the rest of this program. So yes, you had to, Anne says you're great. You had to downsize and change your work schedule when you had to do your teaching practicum for 6 months, like clinicals and nursing. Exactly. Yeah. So, no, well, I still am going to be getting a master's of science in nursing just as a nurse educator. So I basically could teach, so basically that's working in hospitals, ensuring that the nurses are maintaining clinical education, standards in education. So nurse educators are, or obviously teaching at, nursing colleges and, any of those types of nursing programs and so forth. And so it's literally all I would, because of the classes I take, I've been told that the only thing that would then be remaining would be just literally just the clinical time for my NP license, that I would already have the master's degree. So I wouldn't have a lot left. So it was the best decision at this time, because it would allow me to remain in grad school without dropping out, allows me to graduate much faster. I don't have many classes. I think I have like 100 hours of clinical compared to 580, which is massively different. I can still stay working. When I start my classes in July, I'm not in clinicals. I'm just in academic classes. So I don't have any of that stuff to worry about trying to find a preceptor. It was getting like, just insane. So I was like, so I'm just like thinking, you know what? Let me just get this finished and then plan to try to sell the condo and move and then return back to grad school so I can be in the place I want to be when I actually go to graduate. So it's not the end of the world. Oh, thank you for saying I'd make a great nursing teacher. Thank you. And I actually, believe it or not, I have a teaching degree. So I have a Bachelor of Education with honors from the UK. So I have a bachelor's degree. It's just I had to take the reality that I'm not married. A lot of times when people do this, that I've known people, they literally move back in with their parents, or they're married and their spouse says that's okay, and therefore the person can really reduce their working to maybe 1 or 2 days a week. I can't reduce anything past 4. This week will be my first week where I'm down to 4 days so that I can start getting ready to get stuff. And just because I was driving so much, it was a lot. So yeah. Anyway. Yeah. And so it's not the worst, I've got 50 credit hours in on grad school. So thank you for saying I made a great choice. Thank you. So it's kind of sad that I have to kind of not say training. Well, I'm trained to be a nurse educator, so I still have that medical piece. It's not like that's gone away. It's just, and I still get my master's degree. So yeah, like if that's a grift, me talking about the fact that grad school is expensive and I'm just changing my course of action just because I'm just trying to be realistic as to why that's the reason why my bills are $4,000 a month. I would never expect anybody in this community to reach my $4,000 a month. And I obviously have a small channel that does not make that type of money. If I did, then obviously I would probably stay in grad school and to do that, to build that type of channel, most of the time you have to do good content that's worth something. And then we'll end it here, is the point with Tim, I think, is that he is somebody that he was able to get, his channel was around for a while. And I guess every once in a blue moon, YouTube knows that there's people looking for certain types of content, or maybe even Tim knew. And he put out that video and it just happened to get picked up in that dang algorithm. And when he saw that money come in, and then he just kept putting out videos, and people were at home because it was kind of the pandemic time. I think we were just kind of coming out of the pandemic still, that lots of people were at home, and he just, was really, that the money was probably insane. And I'm sure he misses it. I know he probably misses it. And I know he wants that money back. And he wants that 100K plaque. With all of this stuff coming out about his subs and stuff, I don't think that's going to happen. Anyway, guys, I really appreciate everybody. You have a BS in elementary ed, and minor in psychology. Yeah. And it was hard. I had to afford rent and my car. Yeah. And I've already done it once before when I took my bachelor's of science in nursing, my BSN. I was here in the US. I found myself, like many people in 2009, made redundant from my job. Like everyone was getting laid off, and I was laid off like many people were during that time. And I had an opportunity to go back to school because I think they allowed you to keep your unemployment, and they had extended the amount of time unemployment was. And so I was able to do that and go back to school. And that's when I trained to be an RN. But I also had worked as a nanny and worked at a doctor's office and worked at the doctor. Yeah, all sorts of stuff during that time. And still was paying my mortgage and my car, and was much more able to afford it back then. And I went through up until 2014 when I graduated. So I've done it and, sacrificed for quite a lot of my adult years doing my BSN. Apart from the time when I did my bachelor's degree in the UK and time studying Spanish in Mexico. And so it's just, to have that at this moment in the sort of current economic climate, I guess, is the main thing. And the way the prices are just so, up and down, you just don't know what things are going to cost. I don't want to take the risk of not having my very good job that I have that pays me very well and put Junebug and I in any type of financial jeopardy. I'd much rather get this finished, get out of school. I don't even know if I'm necessarily going to go straight into it. I might keep the job that I have because I like and I make a very good living. So I'm not really concerned about that. And I love my patients. So that's a whole different matter. It's a little girl. And then I have a chance to start to get ready to sell this place and, do that. So, yeah. To be honest, I think some people are just smart. They don't need college. Well, I appreciate that, William. Unfortunately, in my profession, and there are, I agree. There are people that are definitely smart. Fortunately, to be in my line of work, I have to have all these licensure and certifications. Unfortunately, they don't allow us in medicine without having some teaching, which is a good thing. I promise you. I've worked with some nurses that have scared the life out of me. And I've wondered why they even have a licensure. So certain things I would like, but I do believe that it's not necessarily a way of measuring somebody's level of intelligence. It's just another way of getting some type of, certification in order for people to perform a area of work and people to have faith that they can do it. You did your coding yourself? Yes. Now, I know that's often a business. Thing is, we probably don't want people just learning surgery by themselves. That might not be a good plan. Coding and computers, I totally understand. The human body, not so much. We don't really want people experimenting on people. That's never something we want. Not a good plan. We could get some people hurt along the way. And my mother actually, just to give heads up, my mother was the first ever female computer repair person in the Commonwealth of Virginia, and was actually on the local news in the 1970s when it was just all mainframes. And my mother worked in a computer company. I think it was called American Business Systems here in Virginia Beach. I don't even know if they exist anymore. And she would get up on the ships and do everything with the mainframes. So I know my mom did not graduate college. It was in the computer industry and worked for IBM. And so I know a lot through the computer. Yeah. So my mom was a computing background. Not me, though. I'm very different from my mom. Got much of that science, evidence-based practice going on in my head at all times. Well, it's been a pleasure, guys. Like I said, look out for the information about the charity. I'm dead serious. I'm going to organize that this weekend. For this weekend, and like I said, I have time on Friday to get everything. So I'm looking for suggestions. So those in Florida may know some good local charities or some organization, or even if it's a lot of times they have little centers where they donate bras and things that help women feel good. Whatever we can do, we'll think. Let me know. So that's really good. Yeah, it's been great. All right, guys, we had a long time, and people are going to gossip that I'm obsessed with Tim. That's barely half of what I did. All right, guys. Appreciate it. Make sure you hit the likes on the way out if you haven't had a chance. Talk to you later. Bye.